What's up, y'all? I'm not gonna bore you with the rest of my story, unless you'd want to know. But long story short, um, I turned to alcohol and drugs, and I've got myself off that. And knowing why I did that, um, very clear. A little bit of coffee. I'd like to pull a couple cards for you guys, if you don't mind. Um, just seeing what's up. What's up? What's up? What's up? Uh, don't know if anybody will show up, and that's okay. But I'm here. If y'all want to just say hey, let me know where you're from. Um, life is getting better just by releasing. Don't you think? Um, Let's see, Guardian. Guard your energy. Guard your energy. Because it's very, very amazing. Your energies are amazing. I have felt them over the past few weeks. One moment. You know how we roll around here? We drop cards. Ground your light. Let your soul shine. Let your light, your soul. It's amazing what releasing and just figuring out, even just a little bit, who you are is amazing. I don't understand why some people like to stay stuck. And maybe it's because it's comfortable. And I understand that because I've been there too in my life, decades ago, where life was just comfortable and I wasn't hurting nobody and I'm okay. I'm miserable emotionally and I feel like shit and I'm doing things to myself I probably shouldn't to make myself feel better. But hey, could be worse, right? Yeah, that thinking is what got it worse. All right. We got Ascended Masters. Create open communication. There's Ascended Masters. We all have them. With us at this time, especially those of us who are on this path. We've got all these entities and all these energies that are with us, supporting us. And if you just feel into that, believe it, because I can't make you believe it. No one can. But what do you got to lose, right? Right? You people that believe there's something more out there for you, that you're here for something more, that there's more inside of you, and you've been the person you really aren't because of programming. So you're someone you're not. Okay, for many years, and I was that person. I grew up in a religious family. We had to act a certain way, sit a certain way, smile, everything's roses and, peach pie. And no, one moment. Oh, good gravy. Meditation. Improvements require persistence. Meditation is hard for me. Just even the word, it doesn't make me cringe anymore like it used to. Meditation is also, prayer is a form of meditation. I grew up in church, religion, and prayer always made me feel better. And honestly, I remember as a kid going to bed praying and actually going to sleep because it would just ease me into relaxation. And for many years, I gave up on that. I kind of walked away from that kind of living. Hey, puppy. And beliefs, because it never got me anywhere that I thought I wanted to be or that I needed to be. Religion actually was a form of control. And honestly, growing up, I felt controlled. I felt like I was in chains and I just wanted to bust out. And that's where a lot of my rebellion and bad attitude for a long time came from. My drug abuse, alcoholism, it came from that. I was trying to fix something. I was trying to mask it. I didn't want to feel that. I wanted to feel better. And sure, alcohol makes you good for a little bit, feel good for a little bit, but then, that wears off. And then you're constantly drinking to chase that first buzz feeling where you're energized. And, y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, you just chase it and you never can get that again until after you pass out, wake up the next day, and do it all over again. Yeah, I know. We all need to be grounding at this time. And I know where I'm living, it's cold. I'm not going to be outside in my bare feet grounding. But I do that through a form of quieting I guess you could call it a form of meditation, but I quiet myself. It's hard to not think about anything. And I do have those moments of peace. I'm allowing that. I'm allowing myself to receive that peace. It's okay to not think all the time. It's okay to not do all the time. And trust me, I'm a doer. If I'm not doing something, I'm bored. I almost thought there for a while it was like ADHD. I just couldn't sit still. But that was more to keep out of my feeling. If I was doing, I wasn't feeling. And I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But that also brings me to another aspect of in order to bring in what you want, you need to take steps towards that, not knowing how it's going to happen, not knowing what that step might be. For me, if you follow my channel, it is about herbal medicine, plant medicine, healing with plants and herbs and with nature, Mother Nature. She's very healing, just being outside, breathing. I do a lot of that. When it's cold, it's a lot less time. In the summertime, I'd be out there for 5-6 hours if I could. But wintertime is 10 minutes and I'm good. It's cold, hurts my bones. So yeah, I know no one has come on yet, and that's okay. I'm hoping somebody will see this that needs to, just say hi. Know that there's somebody out there that also has gone through some stuff, 3 marriages. Still got a little bit of a cough from my cold, but it's okay. I'm healing. I've got my rose quartz. We don't need to make life harder than it is because it never was meant to be. I think we're all realizing this right now, that stillness is where the answers come in. And I appreciate all you guys that do watch my videos. I know a lot of people just watch the first little bit and aren't really interested, but I can tell you in most people's channels, the messages are more towards the end because you're reading into this energy, you're gathering information, and then by the end, it all comes together. So if you're looking for instant answers, maybe, my channel isn't for you, and that's okay. There's other channels out there that'll maybe, resonate with you more. And that's okay. We're not here to please everybody. And those days for me are done. I'm here to help. I'm here to guide. I don't judge. I've been there, done that. I've felt that. I'm a very empathic person. I'm very sensitive to other people's energies. And for the longest time, I couldn't understand why I was so angry. What am I angry about? There's been times when I have cleared a lot of my own crap out of my system, and it has brought in a knowing that I have that would take its place. And it was just because I would just sit and just, feel into it. Just if you can feel the energy of what you were thinking at that time of thinking you had either something wrong with you. Why were you feeling that way? Was it because you were depending on someone else to make you feel a certain way? I've been there. I lived most of my life that way because I was a people pleaser, like most of us are. We grew up in that era. If you're around my age, you grew up in that era where you do as you're told, not as I do, kind of a thing. And that's how we learned. You don't do this, but do it this way. And I saw right through that as a child. I do remember times of as a child being punished, and I can't even remember why. Maybe I was talking back to my parents and I would have to sit in my room. It was summertime, and I would just look out my window and just feel so sad. Like, what did I do? It was never explained to me. It was just, no, go to your room. You're grounded. I grew up like that. And then as I got older, I knew what I did. But as a young child, so that was very confusing. So I grew up very angry, I guess you'd call it. I've worked through just about all of it. I am still realizing things, that I'm sensing and seeing now with family members. So apparently nobody's here, and that's okay. Maybe it's because it's so early in the morning. It's all right. People got things to do. It's Saturday. I understand that. I'm just not able to do it later in the day today. If I can, I will try it later. But just know I'm here. I haven't always been liked. I've never had a lot of friends. I know a lot of people, but I've never had a lot of friends. And the close ones I thought I had would always move away. So, holidays are very emotional. We're all going through stuff. But I just want to tell you, I love you guys. I hope next live I have, I don't know if this is reaching anybody, if I have it done right. So I love you. Okay. Sweet dreams if you are in England. But otherwise, I'll talk to you guys later. Okay. Life doesn't have to be this hard. But I love you. We'll talk to you soon.